And one more video on Thanksgiving. Sure, why not? Anyways, Yo Coot here, come back at you with another exciting video. Happy Thanksgiving, everybody. This is what I do on these epic holiday occasions when I'm trying to eat something so I don't feel hangry when the big meal comes around. Thanksgiving, Christmas, Christmas Eve, New Year's Day, all that kind of stuff. Or just if you're having a lot of family coming to town or whatever the case is and you're getting ready for a huge meal. This is what I do. So the key concepts here are I try to avoid fat as much as possible because fats are going to just sit in your stomach. So if you eat something before the big meal, you're just going to feel fuller, faster, and that's not a good thing because you know you want to eat for Thanksgiving, right? The other key thing is simple sugars, right? I try to avoid those in the meals prior to the big meal because basically when you have like a fiber, a protein, and a simple sugar all at the same time, your stomach goes into haywire mode. It's like, what do I break down first? What do I digest first? You're going to get a major sugar crash because that's probably going to be the first thing the system's going to digest. You're going to feel lousy the whole rest of the day. So what I do is I'll give you one scenario. Let's say I'm going to eat Thanksgiving dinner somewhere between 4 and 6 o'clock. What I'll do is in the morning when I wake up, maybe within an hour, like let's say 7, 8, 9 a.m., somewhere in that ballpark, I'll have just a very simple morning smoothie. And in that smoothie, I'll put black tea, green tea, right? Assam tea, green tea, maybe some matcha, just to kind of get the metabolism going, get the energy going. Then what's usually in there is some kind of microgreens, right? Like something that I sprouted in a mason jar, that kind of vibe. If not, it's no big deal. Don't need it. But then I try to get my juices in there. So cranberry juice, maybe pomegranate juice, maybe some beetroot juice. There's some ginger in there. There's a lot of antioxidants in there, that kind of stuff. And then I try to stay away from like the berries. So I don't do the raspberry, strawberry, mango, pineapple. I don't do that at all, especially in the days when I'm going to have, or I know I'm going to have a massive Thanksgiving dinner or holiday dinner or whatever the case may be. So anyways, I'll have my morning smoothie and then I'll usually go for a walk, get the metabolism going, just get the body moving and working and all that good stuff, right? Hydration, very, very important. Sometimes I'll have a little bit of sauerkraut, like with that first meal too, just to kind of, appease the gut health, get the gut bacteria, the gut biome, the microbiome, get all that stuff going and moving and working, right? So then I would say maybe 2.5, 3 hours later, so around 11, 12, 1 p.m., like somewhere in that ballpark, is when I'll usually have this. And what this is fiber, right? Coming from the pinto beans. I'll have an egg or two hard-boiled eggs, right? Protein, lean protein. There's not a lot of fat in here. And then I'll have maybe 2 to 3 ounces of some kind of other, like a mixed other kind of lean protein. In this case, this is boneless, skinless chicken breast. And the concept there is just as little fat as possible because the fat sitting in the stomach keeps you fuller for longer. It's a good thing on other days of the year, but when you know you're going to have like a massive meal later on in the day or the evening or whatever, the goal is to try to get that lean protein in and out. It satiates you for the time being, for at least a couple few hours maybe, but then it's out of your system, making way for that huge, massive Thanksgiving dinner that we know we're all going to cheat and have, and pies and cakes and turkey, sweet potatoes, stuff, whatever the case may be. So maybe 2 or 3 heaping tablespoons, right? There's a tablespoon, 2 or 3 heaping tablespoons of pinto beans, black beans, whatever you can find, navy beans, just some kind of fiber that will help to start the prebiotic, probiotic process in the gut health, get the digestion moving, get your intestines working, etc. Then there's 1 or 2 hard-boiled eggs, right? Just to kind of get the protein in there to make the stomach work, make the digestive process work. Then I've got an alternate kind of protein, lean protein, right? Like wild caught salmon would be a good choice here. A lean cut of beef, that kind of vibe. Maybe pork that doesn't have a whole lot of fat in it. You could do bacon. I really would stay away from bacon because bacon is mostly, belly fat anyway, so I wouldn't really touch it, but just lean protein, like maybe pork loin or, like I said, chicken breast or boneless, skinless chicken thigh, right? Something lean, not a whole lot of butter, no sauces, no oils, none of that kind of stuff. Basically just lean protein and fiber to get everything moving. Okay, then if you wanted to, you could add in maybe a slice or two of avocado, or even up to like a half of an avocado. I'm not going to do that today because I know that I'm going to be getting so much good healthy fats from the Thanksgiving dinner that I'm going to be having later. So anyway, so this meal is, like I said, 11, 12, 1 o'clock, somewhere in that ballpark. Then what I'll do is around 3 o'clock, right? 3 o'clock, maybe 3, 4 o'clock. I will just have like 16 ounces of just straight water, bottled water, filtered water, whatever the case may be, just to kind of hold me over until the big Thanksgiving meal that's going to be happening at 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, whatever it is, Thanksgiving dinner. So that's pretty much what I'll have. And then after that, definitely go for a walk. How, the digestion will hopefully be carrying on throughout the evening after you've had that Thanksgiving dinner. And then hopefully you can go to sleep at a decent hour and not feel full, not wake up with heartburn, et cetera, et cetera. Obviously be responsible. Thanksgiving comes once a year. I know we all splurge, but it's that mixing and matching of things is what, can cause troubles later when you're trying to sleep and have a good night's rest. So that's why this process works for me. Obviously experiment. Thanksgiving only comes once a year. You might want to do half of this. So maybe like 1 tablespoon of pinto beans, or maybe like a half of a hard-boiled egg, or 1 hard-boiled egg, and maybe just 1 ounce, maybe 2 slices of lean, protein, whatever the case may be, just to kind of feel satiated up until Thanksgiving dinner, but yet you still have enough of an appetite worked up to where when you have your Thanksgiving dinner, you can enjoy it. I'll give you another scenario, if you're going to be having like a Thanksgiving lunch where you're going to be eating Thanksgiving lunch around like 12, 1 o'clock, obviously avoid all this. What I would still do in that scenario, if you're going to have Thanksgiving lunches, I would still do the morning stuff. Like if you're a green tea drinker, great. If you're a coffee drinker, great, whatever the case may be. If you're, Assam black tea, that kind of thing, I would still do that. But just hydration is very, very important as the first meal. And then try to make sure you're drinking water throughout the day up until that Thanksgiving lunch. And then after Thanksgiving lunch, pretty much, I think most people eat leftovers for dinner if they still have room, if they didn't overindulge or whatever. But that's another key crucial point in either scenario, whether you're doing Thanksgiving lunch or Thanksgiving dinner. The key is to try to break it apart into like 1 hour sections. I would say maybe do your proteins, like a little bit mixed in to each time you eat your Thanksgiving dinner, because we all go back for seconds, just leave a little bit of space in between. So like have your first plate of Thanksgiving dinner or Thanksgiving lunch, maybe wait an hour or two, see how your body's feeling, go for a walk, try to get up and moving, stay up and moving for at least 20 minutes. That would be a good time to like go out, maybe toss the baseball or the football around, or, with your bros or your friends or your family, or whatever the case may be. Come back, then have like a second round of Thanksgiving dinner or lunch or whatever the case may be. But I find that when I space out my eating intervals to just 1 plate at a time, it's hard. And I know everybody's going to round that plate off, right? With Thanksgiving stuff. I know it's tough, but usually I find that when I do like 1 plate, wait an hour or two, then have the second plate of the seconds or whatever the case may be, usually I can still go to sleep at night and not have heartburn or indigestion or whatever the case may be. Anyways, I'm asking you, the audience, this is your chance. What do you do? How do you get through Thanksgiving? Comment in the comment section down there below. Let me know what works for you. If you have any tips, tricks, hacks, that kind of thing that works. Something else to consider, I'm a big Italian Amaro fan. Amaro, right? Like your digestifs, your aperitifs, that kind of thing. So I probably will be having a shot of Braulio or, something similar, Campari, Aperol, something like that. Probably before the Thanksgiving meal and right after the Thanksgiving meal. But let me know what you do. Comment in the comment section down there below. With that being said, I'm the Old Coot. Hope this video helps someone out there to have better digestion on Thanksgiving. And I will catch you all on the next exciting adventure.